Hey kids, the program you're about to listen to contains some adult situations, adult language, themes, and other adult topics. If you're easily offended, this show's not for you.
Be sure to like and follow Crazy Truth on Swing Towns. Swing Towns has been around for 20 years, so they're an established, well-known site with lots of users. So you'll be able to easily find people you're interested in. And unlike other big sites, on Swing Towns, you don't have to worry about being bombarded with messages from people you're not interested in, because only people you're interested in can message you. And the best part is, you can message those people for free on Swing Towns. Hey, you crazy motherfuckers, welcome back to another edition of Crazy Truth, where we tell it like it is. We answer your questions, sex, love, relationships. We do what we do because that's what we do. I'm your host with the most. I am Cole. I'm here with the lovely Miss Amanda.
Hey.
Look at her go. All right. So we are ready to roll episode 6 where we're going to answer your questions. We are excited. We are stoked. But as we start off with every show, we are going to start with some cool, funny sex news out there. So, hey, get ready, kids. If you're buying a sex bot because you're lonely, because you can't get none on your own, you might want to really do some shopping around because that's right. They have now come out with a sex bot. Her name's Samantha. She was made by Dr. Sergi Santos. She is the Spanish creator of sex bot Samantha. She will be fitted with a dummy mode that will be switched on. So if she feels like she's being touched in a harmful or disrespectful way, or, oops, I'm hitting buttons. Imagine that. And that's not all. The bots will be fitted with an unresponsive mode. So you'll actually have to turn her on in more ways than one. Because if she gets bored, she'll literally switch off. Wow.
What does she look like?
She's hot. She's kind of cute.
Or can you get it to look however you want?
I think you can get it however you want. But you talk about an ego killer. Great news.
Step up your game, or do you have different levels that you can turn it to?
Level up. That's how you got to get a blowjob. Can you imagine what's going to happen the first time you take and you're trying to fuck the sex doll and she just shuts off and you can't get your dick out? Let me go. Call 911.
No, I think it has sensors that it feels when something's inserted that it's turned on.
What if your penis is small and it doesn't turn her on? That'd be.
Did you hear what I said?
Well, but it says if it's going to be different levels that it's got to take in, you've got to keep her turned on, and she's going to get bored. She can't fake it, basically. Great news, it'd be like real life. So now it is going to be real life. So if you're boring,
it would feel the pressure. Stop it.
If you're boring your wife or your girlfriend and she just falls asleep during sex, now you can pay for a fake thing to do the exact same thing. That is awesome. Talk about totally, don't get me one of those. Whatever you do, I do
Why?
not, because I don't want one. There's too much pressure.
Ego killer.
I mean, oh my God, that's like dildo batteries running out, but it's because you suck at it. Now you can't even practice on a sex doll. Here you go. So, all right. So, absolutely. There you go. When you're shopping for your sex bots, kids, make sure it's not one that's going to reject you and crush your ego before you even start. I love that segment of the show. You know that? That's the best part.
Is it?
You can't make this shit up. You can't make it up. What I want to know is, I can see if a woman would have designed it, rock on, but a guy? Why would a guy design a sex doll to have you disappointed and feel lame? I don't know. Whatever works. It's all good. All right. So, as you all know, we do the same thing we always do. That's right. We take and we answer your questions, and we've got some good questions here tonight. So, real quick, if you have some questions for us for this week or for future weeks, remember you can email those to us at crazy KRAZY .kasbh KASBH @gmail.com. We get them and then we'll answer your questions as well. So we absolutely love that. So first question. This question is awesome. I have a feeling, I'm not for sure, but I think this question was designed to be kind of a smart ass question. Okay?
Possibly.
Who would you think? All right. So the question was, why do people listen to a podcast to swing? And I'm like, oh yeah, we're absolutely going after this question. Absolutely. Okay, so here's the thing. The reason, why would you listen to a podcast? Because people don't know what the fuck they're doing. That's why. So they're trying to get, it's like a verbal how-to book. It's like Swinging for Dummies.
I don't know if I go there.
Well, what it is people want research. People want research. You can't walk in to, well, you could, but you're probably not going to walk into your public library and go, hey, so I'm thinking about letting my wife fuck somebody other than me. Do you got some books on that?
I bet you they do. Have you tried?
They do have books. They do have books. But that's just it. You're not going to do that. I mean, you may try to find those on Amazon, but you don't know where to go, and you have questions, and you feel like you're new, and are these, I don't want to be the one to ask this question, but you want to get stuff. So the thing is, people listen to podcasts because we're experts. In theory, we're experts. We're kind of experts. But you just want, people want to know what's going on and hear different ideas.
For certain demographics, it's to learn. For another demographics, it's to listen to stories because everybody wants to hear if they're going through the same shit.
It's for car rides home. Now, remember, when you're listening to podcasts, if it's a family vacay, you might want to check the title before you listen to it. Just saying. We're not as family friendly as some of the other shows might be.
Well, I don't think that you would listen to it in the car with your family anyway. Wouldn't that kind of out you?
It could out you, but it would sure be fun to watch your kids squirm in the back going, oh my God, ew, gross, ah. Now, the thing, okay, so what we have found is not only are people, podcasts just aren't just for newbies. I mean, there's a lot of questions that newbies have, but even, think all the stuff we've already learned on doing the podcast, because you have people that are different from different the experience levels, people that have been there 13, 14, 15 years that are doing it. And they still have questions and everything like that on the podcast. And this is a way to answer them and to hear about it and to get some, find out and to learn and to grow. Plus it is fun. It's entertainment, kids. This is what it is. Look, you notice I don't introduce myself as Dr. Cole or Dr. Miss Amanda. So it's an entertainment purpose only. Results may vary.
They vary for everyone.
All right, so is there any reason you should not listen to a podcast? I'm trying to think. I try to take both sides. That's what we do here. We want to take and, play both sides, play the angles.
I don't know. I guess I didn't for a long time.
Well, I didn't either. I'm not real techie, that's why. Okay, here's the thing. You got to take every podcast you listen to with somewhat of a grain of salt, okay? People that do podcasts, what we're doing is we're giving you our opinions, our possible thoughts and overall like ideas. The cool thing with the lifestyle, there is not a set right or wrong way. Okay, it's like everything else. You can't just take and automatically say you're doing it wrong. Everybody's experience in the lifestyle is different. So, as much as we want everybody out there to listen to our podcast, I mean, we'd be dumb not to. And for those of you that might not remember, we're the crazy truth. Just putting it out there. Please rate us. We want you all to listen to our podcast, but I strongly encourage people, listen to a multitude of podcasts. Listen to some of the opinions that some of the other people do, because they're going to have totally different experiences than maybe we do. I mean, the thing is that, yeah, the overall questions, a lot of the questions are the same, but everybody's experience is different and unique. So the more people's podcasts you can listen to, the more things you can learn, the more ideas, more, things along those lines. That's awesome. I love that question. Keep sending us your smart-ass questions. We'll turn them serious. That's what we do. We'll make it a big deal. So there you go. Why do people listen to podcasts? Because you want to become knowledgeable. And we hope that people will. And you should tell your friends, too. If you find a great podcast that you thought was really, really helpful or really, really fun, something really entertaining, you know what? Let other people know. Because podcasts, we live and die off of making sure lots of people hear us. So make sure you let people know when you find one that's really, really cool all the way across the board. There we go. Look at that. Techie. That's what I like. Techie.
Do you like listening to podcasts?
I'm starting to. Really, I am. I think the cool thing with it is I'm listening to different people's styles, and I'm actually learning stuff. That's really weird. I actually have started making notes during podcasts because I have a little more time. So I actually paid attention and listened to podcasts and learning things.
I actually have one that had me turn it off within like 2 seconds.
What?
Because she was very offensive and I didn't like it. She said something that was rude. I'm like,
Was it a cuss word?
No. She was making fun of when she was a kid, making fun of situations. And I was one of those situations. So
gotcha.
I'm like, screw that.
Well, here's the thing. Not every podcast is going to be for everybody, and that's okay. And that's the thing, is that's why you have to listen to other ones, because some people, just how you present, it's just not going to be the same thing. On our live stuff, because we do these live as well, one of the questions that we're getting is, why not ask dumb questions? Here's the thing. There's no such thing as a dumb question in lifestyle. Well, I mean, as a general, there's no such thing as a dumb question, because really, if you think it's a question, if you might wonder, no matter how silly it might be or seem to you, I promise you, at least like 1,000 other people are thinking the same thing.
Oh yeah.
So, and when you're new, you don't know. So, I promise you, you're going to have better results listening to podcasts, especially if you're a couple. This is really huge. If you listen to podcasts or information like this as a couple, or you both listen to it, then you can talk about it. When you're at a bar, you're at a meet and greet, you're at whatever, and somebody's saying, well, this is the way it is, that's still their opinion, just like what we do, right? But you don't have a chance to process it. And when you're listening to it as a couple, hey, find out, you can say, hey, look, that happened to somebody else. We're not new. We're not weird or crazy or anything else. And then you can process it. And it gives you topics that maybe you didn't think as a couple that you needed to talk about. I mean, that's probably one of the biggest things is they may come up with something that you didn't even know. And so you can have a plan of action before all of a sudden you're slapped in the face with a dick out of the blue or something weird. Just saying. You never know when that kind of stuff happens. All right, so there you go. That's awesome. Okay, so our next question. This question came from, we're part of Reddit. And so this question, that's where this one comes from. Does anyone have a standard not interested reply for swinger websites? This is a big deal now. This is really, really, really a big deal.
Well, you don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
No, you don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. But, okay, so if you look at the lifestyle like 20 years ago, things weren't done electronically. So everything was done via like mail and or just straight up at parties. So now with there being a whole bunch of adult websites, swinger websites, there's Facebook pages, there's Reddit, there's all kinds of different places you can go. And there's all these places that are designed to try to help you find and meet other people, like-minded folks to go have some fun with and hook up. The problem is, and it's not a problem, it's just a fact of life. Everybody that's a swinger is not going to be attracted to everybody else. Okay, so right off the bat, that's what like the outside world believes that, well, if you're a swinger, all the swingers just take and fuck each other. It doesn't matter. There's no discretion. No, it doesn't work that way. That's porn swinging. Every pizza delivery guy is not going to be involved in a threesome. It doesn't work that way. Okay, so there's going to be people, they're going to check you out, and they're going to think you're hot, or your wife's hot, or your husband's hot, or whatever the case may be. And you or your wife is going to be like, So
I don't know if I say that.
Well, I mean, it's just whatever it's going to be. It's not. They're not going to be what you're necessarily interested in. Okay, so the first thing you have to understand is that's okay. I think the biggest problem when people are new, you want to take and you're afraid of being labeled as picky or being labeled as snobby or whatever the case may be. So
dick tease.
A dick tease. So everybody's first fear is, they want to be nice. They want to be known as a nice couple. They want to be known as the couple that takes and gets the most responses possible. Plus, the other reality of it is It's a numbers game, and we all know that, all right? So we're all hoping that we get the most numbers, that we have the most opportunities to get and have hookups. Okay, here's what you have to remember. When you're new, don't worry if you say no, or if the first couple people that are interested in you, you're not interested in them. That's okay. Do you remember, you think back to when we were first swinging 8 long years ago, right? Do you remember the first time that we were on a site, it'll remain nameless. We were on a site and we got a whole bunch of requests from single males. When you finally let me put naked pictures of you on the page.
Yeah.
And we were bombed, and we were like, because we went through that. Well, what do you say? Because there were some of them that you were like, that dude's kind of scary. I mean, we didn't know him. I'm sure they were a really nice person, but they kind of look like a hobo. It is what it is. So, and we toyed with that. What do you say? The first thing that in hindsight now, we look back and you look at our profile, you have to set your profile up correctly. Right? We tried to be the profile that said everything. We tried to be nice. Mm-hmm. You remember that? We were like, all we listed were the things we were interested, all the positives. We didn't put any like disclaimers. There were no limits, no whatever. There was no reason for any single male not to think that they didn't have a chance to probably get to fuck you. And then boy, did they come out of the woodwork. So it starts with, number one, set your profile up correctly. It's not being an asshole to put on there that you are looking for someone that is height and weight proportionate. That's not being a dick, I don't think. Do you think that's being an asshole?
No, everybody's definition is different.
Exactly. So, okay, let's put a disclaimer in there. If you sit there and put in your profile that you are an attractive couple, you're super fit, and you're an attractive couple. Okay.
I've seen it.
Here's the thing. Number one, if you put that in your profile that you're super fit,
your picture should reflect it.
Your current pictures should reflect that, okay? It's no fair putting I was super fit in 1991. I was super fit when I graduated from high school. Okay, but you can't put pictures from when you were in high school and say you're super fit if you're currently maybe carrying a few extra pounds. Okay, so one, if you're going to say you're super fit, you should be super fit.
According to the BMI scale, I am not.
Well,
I'm short. So I am not height and weight proportionate because I should weigh 90 pounds.
I thought that's what you weighed. Okay. Yeah, just saying. So here's the thing. You don't have to downgrade yourself. I mean, I'm not going to put on a profile, yeah, I'm a fat guy. I mean, no, I'm not a fat guy, but I mean, I'm not super fit. If you put super fit, for the love of God, that means that you spend a shit ton of time at the gym working out and you're super fit. Okay, so be honest about that. If you put, and everybody wants to be nice, but if you put, we're an attractive couple. Okay. Attractive couple. Let me help you out with this. Attractive is kind of one of those things that's subjective, right? So if you want to avoid something that sounds kind of snooty and kind of arrogant and kind of like an asshole.
Yeah, there's lots I turned down even though they were attractive because they said they were an attractive
because they were busy tooting their own horn about how attractive they were. Big secret in lifestyle for new folks. You know what? Personality is going to win 99% of the time.
Yes.
You can look like a supermodel, male or female supermodel, but if you're an ass clown, you're not getting in our pants. It ain't happening. There's just no way.
No.
Personality wins. You can have a few extra pounds, but be super cool and be super fun. And you know what? We're interested. And most couples are like that. Most people are like that. They want someone that's fun. So probably the one thing is stay away from the attractive. Let the other people decide. Or if you're going to put something like that in there, I suppose you can put, in our opinion, we're attractive.
We're a cute couple.
Yeah, we're a cute couple. Yeah, so one, set your profile correctly. Set the expectations right. Number two in your profile, if you're not interested in single males, Okay, or you're not interested in single females, or you only want couples, or you only want, I don't care what you want. I don't care. If you only want people that have birds as pets, I don't care what it is. You need to take and specifically list that out. Okay, that's not being rude. Remember, the lifestyle, the theory of this is to find people that you have similar interests or attractions to, or whatever, to have sex. You're not replacing a partner. You're not replacing. Okay, so list it out if that's what we want. If you're a non-smoker and you don't want smokers,
You've seen that.
You put it exactly. I'm a dirty smoker, so you know what? There are certain couples that, because of that, they list that. So I know that I'm not going to bother them, and I'm going to do a bunch of emails back and forth, and we're not going to set up a time to meet and everything else. And then I'm going to go, oh, by the way, I'm going to have a cigarette. Okay, we just know that. So take and set realistic expectations. Let people know what you're looking for or what you're not. And I'm going to throw this in because now it's a new thing, especially it's a big thing now because it's starting to be legalized. The whole 420, right? So everybody knows what that means. For people who don't know what that means, that means you smoke weed. Rock on. Okay, so and it's a big thing. You'll see 420 friendly. All right, so that's something. Again, if that's something what you're looking for, then sure, post it, whatever, rock on, go with that. There's nothing more awkward than to go somewhere or to meet up with a couple and all of a sudden like they whip out a bag of weed and you're
my naive self when we first started off and the first time I saw 420 friendly, I went, oh my God, did they really just admit that?
that shows.
But I've seen it, so it's like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's something to look for. That's something to know. So if you're into that, okay, rock on.
If you're not offended by it,
if you're not offended by it, rock on. If it's something that they say they're 420 friendly, they're not. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to, right off the bat, pull out a joint. But that might be something you want to have during your conversation on setting up a meet and greet with them. You might want to have that conversation, okay? So you want people to know, if you're not interested in single males, oh my God, look, if you don't want a single, whether it be single female or single male, you need to blatantly put that in your profile. The reason you'll do that, you will save yourself hours of sending rejection emails back or saying, we're not playing with single males this time or single females, whatever the case may be, if you just spell it out. Put it out there. Or that if we're interested in a single male, we'll contact you. Will it stop everybody from doing it?
No.
Fuck no. Here's the deal. Look, man, the swinger sites and the pages and everything else, it's like fishing, okay? You never know. You may just get lucky. If you put your rod out there enough, times, you may get a nibble.
Whip a dick.
What's that you're using there? Balls. Just a side note. Again, probably don't do a lot of nibbling. Teeth are not usually the most popular thing in life. So just saying. But so people are gonna fish. They're gonna put it out there, and no, not everybody's gonna read your profile completely the way they should. But it is what it is. So list it out there. And I know this is like a long roundabout way to the answer, isn't it?
What was the question again?
Okay, so for those of you who just joined us, or for those who have forgotten because of my long-windedness, again, the question is, does anyone have a standard not interested reply for swinger sites? Look, here's my other big thing. I hate to say standard reply.
We don't have a standard one.
No, we don't. We don't have a standard. It's hard to have a standard reply because every situation is a little bit different. I mean, you might get a request for friendship or an email or whatever, an instant message from somebody, but it's after you've already met them. Okay, so if you have a standard reply that says, we appreciate you taking the time of reading our profile. Currently, we're not accepting new vaginas or penises, whatever. Okay, that's not going to sound really smart if they sent a reply because you'd already met them 2 weeks before or a week before at a meet and greet. Okay, so you can't have a standard reply. Plus, the reality of it is that there's nothing standard about the lifestyle. Okay, the reasons why or how someone's going to react are going to be totally different.
I remember getting one time that said, "I'm sorry, we're not interested at this time."
Right.
And that might be their standard one because we blatantly got that, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, we blatantly got it. It's like, oh, sweet. And the thing is what was great about when we got that one, I remember I was pissed at first.
Really?
Oh, well, at first I'm like, well, why the fuck would they not want to do this? We're hot. No, I didn't say we were hot. I mean, I was fishing. I was waiting to get nibbled. No, I mean, you're like, well, really though, it was a great reply because it was direct, to the point, and honest.
And that was it.
Yeah, and that was it. The worst thing you can possibly do is beat around the bush. I mean, maybe you can lick around it. No, I'm just kidding. The worst thing you can do is not be direct, because what happens is when you try to be polite and you're trying to dance, you don't want to step on anybody's toes. What you're doing is you're giving people a false sense of hope. So you say there's a chance. So the thing is that, and the look I'm getting. Maybe I might have been guilty of this. You give me a couple of rum and
No,
cokes.
I've been guilty of it.
Yeah, you've been guilty of it. Because you're
I
trying
don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
Because you're trying to be nice, and you don't want to hurt anybody's feeling. The problem is that when you don't just directly say, I'm not interested. If you say to somebody, you're like, well, at this time I'm just not. I don't know at this time, or we have this going on, or whatever the case may be. The problem with that is that then the next time they see you, they still think they have a chance. They're going to continue to come back until you say no. And each time that it goes further and further before you say no, what ends up happening is that's when feelings start to get hurt. If you just would be upfront and say, I appreciate it, but we're not interested. Anything else in that is just going to come back to bite you in the ass. Mm-hmm. Every single time. We've had that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then they keep coming. They're like, well, they're still, maybe now. How about now? Now?
The only time I've actually really, really turned someone down initially when we first started was I blatantly went up to this guy and I said, it's never going to happen. Well, why not? Because I know you from here.
Oh, just
it's
say
not,
from where here?
Oh, from where here? Church.
That's
I know
right.
you from church. I know you're high up in the church. I can't do that. But it doesn't, you don't have to associate it with that. I do. That has nothing to do with it. I can't do it.
There's just, that had to be one of the greatest nights in the world. When we walked into, we were at a meet and greet / party.
It was like a hotel party.
Hotel party, meet and greet kind of sort of situation. And
super nice.
Great couple, great people. And I'm pretty sure you almost broke my ribs. Elbowing me going, look, oh my God.
No, I don't think you recognize them.
Do you know who that is? I'm like, oh, I can't really tell. They go to our church. Oh, awkward. And he was a nice guy, and he was really interested in hooking up with you. Mm-hmm. But what was one of the problems with that? How long did it take before you finally said that? Before you finally said, no, this is not going to happen no matter what.
It was probably a month.
A month of a lot of emails.
A lot of instant messages.
A lot of texting. And you were always trying to be nice.
And I was just nice. I'm still nice to him now. I mean, we'll still chat occasionally.
What it ended up doing, because when you finally just said it's not going to happen, at that point in time, then
we're just friends.
Yeah, and now you're just friends. And he quit trying to get in your pants at that point in time. Yeah. And now I don't know that necessarily means that if the opportunity just randomly presented itself that he wouldn't probably jump all over it. But he quit trying. And that's the thing. So you can't do that. Now, are you going to have people that get butt hurt when you say no?
But yeah.
You're going to have it. It's going to happen. Here's what you have to remember. This is a choice. You're not required to take and screw anybody. It doesn't work that way. Okay? So the thing is if somebody gets pissed off because you're not interested and you were appropriate and you were polite and you said you weren't interested, you know what? That's their fucking problem. That is not your problem at that point in time. Okay? If they can't handle it, then you know what? You wouldn't have wanted to hook up with them anyways. Mm-hmm. Because that's going to be like become back to be a really, really, really big issue. So yeah, but at some point in time, if people like that don't take the hint, you might actually have to step to the plate and be a dick. Okay?
Sometimes you might.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Look, if someone's not getting the fucking hint, it's just like in real life. If someone's not getting the hint, you know what? At that point in time, you may have to say, knock it the fuck off. Or you may have to get a hold of the admin of that site or that page or whatever and say, this person's being a problem. Most of the pages have a way to block somebody. Mm-hmm. The one recommendation I would say is, look, everybody gets block happy. That's the first thing you want to do. Oh my God. If a single male takes and contacts us, we're going to block him. Don't be a dick. You know, you don't necessarily have to hurry. And the first thing, you don't always have to take and block him because most people understand the lifestyle, as Ms. White's saying, and she's exactly right. People understand the rule. No means no. Okay, so you shouldn't have to take and just block him, but some people you will. Some people you absolutely will have to take and block them, and that's why they have that, or you'll have to contact an admin to step in a little bit and take in, help stop the situation if it needs to get that way. Mm-hmm. Okay. So at this point in time, sorry, I'm hearing weird sounds all over the place. Okay, so the other thing now, I think that this needs to go a bit further though.
Okay.
You tell me what you think. Okay, so you've taken and you've hooked up with a couple, you've hooked up with an individual, doesn't matter, whatever the case may be. You've hooked up. You've had sex. It was or whatever you do. Whatever kink. It is what it is. And it was okay or whatever, fine, but you don't want to hook up again. And the person or couple gets clutchy. Ooh. Ooh, new twist. Hey, new people, believe it or not, it will actually happen. You will have people that all of a sudden will get like...
Needy.
Real needy. Okay, so how do you respond to that? And the reason, okay, I'm deferring this to you, Miss Amanda, because I think women get it more than guys do. Okay?
Actually, I think it's just the opposite.
Really?
You have more women that are clutchy to you, even though you haven't done anything with them after the first time, and even some you haven't even had sex with, than I do men.
Okay. Well, yeah. Okay. Yeah, maybe.
You have what, 3 or 4, and I have like 1.
No. Okay. All right. Yes. See that it's hard because you don't want to piss people off. You don't want to piss people off, but sometimes you have to put your foot down.
Well, as an adult, you should realize or take a hint. If we keep putting it off, or we're like, no, we can't. Take it as a hint. But, okay, so, and we're guilty of that. We've had people do it to us. It's okay.
Right, but we're guilty of that. When really, in a perfect world, what the exact correct answer is that you should, as adults, we should all just say, we had a great time, but we don't want to do it again. But the reality is, nobody's going to say that. Because somebody's going to have hurt feelings.
Yeah.
Out of that, okay? So yes, take a hint. If you're the new couple, and I guess I shouldn't just call this new couples. New couples are guilty of this a lot, but it's not just new couples. There's experienced couples that are this way also. Just because you have sex with somebody once, that does not mean that you guys are in a long-term committed relationship. Okay, don't expect that means every single time you see them that you're gonna go have sex with them. I mean, one, don't expect it.
Yeah, expect it.
Don't expect it. Okay, yeah, you may find there'll be certain couples or individuals that you hook up with additional times because it was a great time, but it's not required. It shouldn't be required. And I'm telling you right now, if someone takes and says to you or acts like it should be required every time that you take and that you've had sex, and anytime you see each other, you should have sex again, get the fuck away from them as fast as humanly possible. Okay? But you have to put your foot down. At some point in time, you have to say, stop, no more. And don't be afraid to use your spouse. Well, I mean, that sounds horrible, but here's the deal. Guys, we've had situations where Miss Amanda has had to jump in, and she's had to send the message to say, no more, stop. And there's been times that I've had to jump in and send a message to a guy with you and say, no more, stop. I mean, that sucks, but there is times that happens. Mm-hmm. Just a few. Okay, but now I want to say, because that was kind of downer, but I want to say this right now. I say this all the time to Miss Amanda, and she says it to me, and we tell people this all the time. I know that you're not going to be interested in every single person out there. That's okay. Anytime someone sends you a thing saying they're interested in you, don't forget it's a compliment. Mm-hmm. It's a compliment. It takes courage. It takes courage, even if it's internet courage, to take and send somebody a thing saying, hey, do you want to hook up? Because there's a chance that they might not. So you might end up dealing with some form of rejection. So always take it as a compliment, and make sure that your response, even if you're not interested, is one from a point of view that is not a dick. Don't be a douche. We say it all the time. Don't be a douche. Don't be a twat waffle. You don't want to do that. You always want to make sure that your response back is at least polite to begin with. Mm-hmm. Right? I mean, firm, direct, honest, but always still you want to make sure that it's polite. And you remember that these people have taken a risk going by sending you a thing in to make sure that it's a compliment. The other thing is, when you see them live and in person, even if you politely told them no, if they walk up and just say hi, it's just because they want to meet you. You don't have to be a douchebag.
It could be people are, they want to hang out with you.
Exactly. Well, here's the thing. Don't ever close the door. Because we've had people that initially, just off of profiles and off of pictures, that we were like, not really. And then we met them at a meet and greet, and we started to hang out with them and got to know them, and we ended up hooking up with them. But if we'd been like a dick and sent this thing, go fuck yourself, don't ever contact me again, or block, that never would have happened. And they actually turned out to be like a lot of fun.
Because things change as you go. As
you learn. Mm-hmm. As you learn. We had a couple. I love this. We had a couple that we first met when we were new, and they were new. We're all new, and it was probably I think it was our first hotel party, and they were into some things that we just
had never even heard of. We were new.
We were new, and they were too.
And I personally haven't been exposed to a lot of kinks at all. Yeah, spank me. That's about it. I had not been exposed to anything. So when they mention something and you go, oh my God, did they really just say that? But I love them to death.
It was, and here's the thing: is we have now we're really, really, really good friends with them. It was within the first. They were brand new too, so they were doing the hi, want to do this? I mean, because they didn't know either, because nobody knew, and we were like, hi, we got to go. So and we've talked about it since, and we laughed because they said the same thing. Well, we figured out that maybe we came on strong in certain areas, and we came on, and we were so naive that we kind of came on as prudish in the whole thing. But it's a learning curve. That's the whole thing, and that's why you don't want you to do it, because now seriously, we've known these folks now for almost 8 years. and the thing is that they're some of the coolest people in the lifestyle. So, and if we'd have shut that door, we'd have never ended up having another chance and got to know them real well. So we're getting some comments. I want to read one of these comments because this is really good. Eric Reese, if someone messages you and reaches out to you, be respectful, courteous, and respond. Even if it is just a thank you, but not interested. At least you acknowledge them and give them a respectful reply. Wow, that's awesome. That is absolutely perfect. Nothing sucks worse than when you're new, especially, and you're sitting there and you're on this website, you're all excited because you're going to do this, and you've got the courage, you've posted pictures, you know, and you're laying it all out there, literally. And so you see this couple and you take this chance, and then you never hear anything back. And you're just like, what does that mean? And you don't know. Take the time to at least give people some sort of acknowledgement. Think of it like applying for a job. Nothing sucks. I mean, everybody hates rejection letters in a job, right? I mean, you're applying for a job. But it still beats fucking sitting there looking in the mail every day going, am I still in? Is there still a chance? What the fuck's going on? So always take and make sure you give people a chance and the common courtesy to reply. And if you send it, don't get butthurt if someone says no. Okay, guess what? There's a whole lot of other fish in the sea. It's okay. You're not everybody's cup of tea. You are somebody's cup of tea. So don't get all like all JoJo the fucking circus monkey. Oh my God, I'm never gonna get fucking laid. It goes in spurts.
Yeah, it does.
Okay? New people always think it's like, well, we've been doing this for 2 weeks and we haven't got laid 6 times. Guess what? You can do it 8 years and you can
That
go
was
way.
like when we used to go to the bar with certain friends, and one was outside having a smoke, and he overheard a conversation amongst young vanilla kids, and they said, well, you know, those swingers, they get laid every night by someone different. And he goes, we do?
I don't think we've
No.
ever laughed that hard when we came in.
We would. It goes in spurts. You have moments where you might get lucky 3 weekends in a row, and then you'll go 6 months, 8 months without anything.
Without anybody even willing to talk to you.
Yeah. And you're like, oh my God, did I lose it? Did I lose it? And then all of a sudden you hit another spurt again. You're like, okay, game on. It happens.
And it is what it is. Yeah, so don't panic about it. Don't force it. It's all good, okay? So take a chance. Hey, real quick, I want to again let people know, if you want to send us questions for this show, future shows, whatever the case may be, don't hesitate to take and email us to crazy, K-R-A-Z-Y, Kasbh, K-A-S-B-H, @gmail.com. We love to answer your questions. It's what we do. All right. So we're going to keep moving along there. That's awesome. So hey, our hour is up. Wow, we want to do this fast. So, all right. So here's the deal, guys. Want to take this moment to thank you all for listening, and thank you all for listening. Hey, if you like what you're hearing, please don't hesitate to support us. You can support us at our Patreon, www.patreon.com/crazy with a capital K, Kasbh with a capital K, and also listen to us on our all of our different on iTunes and Google Play and everywhere we're at. Don't forget to tell your friends and family about us. Make sure when you listen to us, you rate us, give us a rating, and you can also find us on our Facebook page at Crazy Truth to keep all up in date.
K-R-A-Z-Y.
Once again, I want to thank our sponsor for the show tonight, swingtowns.com. Make sure you register today for your free swingtowns.com account, and make sure you let them know you were referred by Crazy Truth. Can't wait to see you all there. All right, kids. Thanks again for listening to us. Love you all. Can't wait to hear and talk to you next week. Hey, you know what? Just having a good night. We'll see you all soon. Doing it the only way I know how and the only way I want to. Kasbh style. Out.
Bye.